Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am your Muse Traci and I'm your favorite manifestation coach. I'm here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. I offer one-on-one coaching and I am now offering group coaching as well to help you transform and revolutionize your life in all areas. In my coaching program, we take a deep dive into your subconscious programming or your belief system, and we do the work to change the programming that is effectively covering up or masking your true nature. My program is designed to be the last coaching that you will need. I will take you through the process of cleaning up your programming, and we do that by meeting 2 to 3 times per week. In between sessions, you have homework and your own work to do. You also have email access to me in between the 2 to 3 sessions. So it's a lot of hand holding, and it is an intensive month, but it is designed to create real transformation in every area of your life. Really, the real transformation is you in your programming. You are perfect. You're a perfect, master manifester already, but the real transformation is with your programming, with your unprocessed emotions, basically things that have happened in the past that, like I said, are masking your true nature. So we do the work to create real transformation in every area of your life and return you back to your true nature of being an effortless and unlimited creator. That is your true nature. You are already that. If you're interested in learning more, leave me a comment down below, send me an email, and I will get back to you. So today, you guys, I am super excited about this topic. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. If you've seen me talk about this before, I think I put out a video referring to it as like a Groundhog's Day, but basically we're talking about cycles, how to break out of cycles. If you're experiencing cycles, it is very common. And yes, I put in the title, Cycles with Your SP, also very common, but you could be experiencing cycles with work, with like your bosses. You could be experiencing cycles with a family member, with money, with anything. So it's really the topic of cycles. We're going to focus maybe mostly with cycles about an SP. Again, very, very common thing to experience. And we're going to talk about how to break it, because cycles, especially unwanted cycles, really we're talking about here. Unwanted cycles, they're unwanted. We want to we want to break out of that. And experience something new and something different, okay? So the first thing to understand is, of course, we always start here. You are the creator of your reality. You're the only one creating in your reality, and you are doing that either consciously or unconsciously. And now, if you have created some unwanted cycle, you probably did it unconsciously, right? We don't manifest unwanted things consciously. We manifest unwanted things unconsciously. So yeah, but you still did that, okay? It's still a result of your consciousness. Your consciousness is the only thing creating in your reality, okay? So this is not about blame. It's more about ownership, accepting the responsibility, because you cannot change what you're not responsible for. It's a very good thing to remember. So your consciousness created this cycle, and something in your programming, something in your belief system, something that you believe about you, most likely, what you get to experience, what you're worthy of, what you expect, right? You sort of unconsciously expected this thing to happen and show up, and boom, there it is. Now, the thing that keeps the cycle going is you reacting to it. And let's talk about what reacting really, really is, okay? It's not having a bodily feeling. It's not even an emotion. A lot of people think it's the emotion. It's really not that. It's taking what is showing up and saying, oh yeah, I believe that's true. Oh, that's there, that's real, and I have to now adjust myself to that somehow. Or, oh yeah, see, I knew that was true. You're reconfirming an old belief by what's showing up. That's reacting essentially, okay? It's also not what you say. You can say whatever you want and internally still believe what you choose to believe, which is not necessarily what the situation is telling you, okay? So it's not what you say, it's not your emotional feelings, it's not your bodily feelings, it's what you decide to believe according to the circumstance. And if you change your belief, your assumption, because of the circumstance, again, that's reacting, okay? So reacting is the way that you keep a cycle going, because when you react, you are confirming, you are assuming that that is true. And so because you are the one creating, because you are the operant power, when you react to this circumstance or this cycle that's showing up, you cast it forward into your experience for you to experience more of, into your future for you to get more of, okay? Neville talks about this. Your thoughts don't recede into the past, they go forward. So this is what's happening when you're reacting to something. The thoughts that you're thinking in that moment, they go forward into your future. So you have two choices. You have a choice to confirm and recreate this cycle, or you have a choice, you have an opportunity actually in the moment to cast something different forward into your future. So you do that by whatever's showing up in your 3D reality. You stay committed to your assumption. And my video, I think a couple days ago, I was talking about opposites showing up. So this is the same thing here. Obviously, an unwanted cycle would be a form of an opposite showing up. And especially if you have been working to try to get, to try to create something other than this cycle, okay? Then the cycle shows up, here it comes one more time. Well, it's all about what you do with the cycle, the opposite showing up one more time, that determines your future, that determines your next slide, your next experience. It's what you do in that moment. So in that moment, again, it's a golden opportunity. It's a choice. And you don't have to take the choice that you've always taken. Now, at the basis of doing this, of course, it's always back to the fundamentals, right? Understanding who you are, understanding what 3D reality is. If you think that you are just moving through life and things just happen and 3D reality is happening to you and it has nothing to do with you and you're a victim to it, basically, then not reacting is going to be, I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's going to be like a hard job, if not impossible, okay? Because I think at the basis of not reacting, you understand that thing that I really don't like and really would prefer to not experience. I would really prefer to stop experiencing that. It's not being done to me. I'm not a victim of that. Because again, like I said earlier, you can only change what you take responsibility for. So if you're not taking responsibility for it, you can't change it. And if you think you can't change it, if you think you're a victim to this thing, you think it's happening to you, you'll have this reaction, right? And so this is the basis of not having a reaction. This is the basis of breaking out of cycles. You are the one that breaks the cycle. The cycle doesn't just stop one day. It breaks because you break out of it. You decide in the moment, I don't believe that's true anymore. I know I used to believe that's true, but I don't believe that's true anymore. And in the moment, in your consciousness, you go back to your chosen preference. You go back to your new assumption and you say, this is what I now believe. Again, internally, you don't have to say this to the person if you're dealing with a person, or even if it's like, again, if you're having cycles with a boss at work, or if you're having cycles with money, right? You don't have to say it out loud. It's what you do inside. It's how you react internally. It's what you make it mean, okay? it doesn't mean anything, really. That's the truth of it. Your 3D reality doesn't mean anything. Circumstances don't matter. Here's your chance to live by that. So living by circumstances don't matter looks like, okay, that looks like a brick wall, but circumstances don't matter. Circumstances don't have the power. I have the power. My consciousness is the only power that can create here, right? So you can give the circumstances your power, but I highly recommend that you don't do that. It's a mistake. It's a misunderstanding when you give your power away to circumstances and you say, that thing is showing up. It really means something. I'm limited by this. I'm a victim to this, right? This is the basis of breaking the cycle, is understanding who you are and what that is. It's just a result of your past assumptions, your past thoughts, your past reactions, right? Things that you have reacted to show up again and again, sort of like a question to ask you if you still believe that it's true. It has to show up. So you pull the safety switch and you say, no, I don't believe that's true. And then the cycle can stop. The cycle can stop showing up, right? So you're not a victim to your cycle. Again, the first creation of this cycle is your consciousness, some concept you had about you or the other person, or about how money shows up, or about how you're treated at your job, how your work is valued, right? It's all about a concept that you had. Again, this is not about blame. It's about understanding yourself. This whole reality is set up so that you can get to know yourself, so you can get to know what is going on in here. But you have to know that that's what's happening. The inside of you, your programming, your assumptions, your ideas, your concepts are being put on display for you. Here they are. And, you have a choice. You have a choice to decide that, yes, that is something that I want to keep experiencing. And so let's go, more of that, please. Or if it's a cycle that you don't prefer, you have a choice to go inside and choose in that moment something different. It's a bit of a skill, right? And that skill starts with understanding who you are. Understanding that you are the one creating, you're the consciousness, you're the operant power, and circumstances are always just reflecting you. So whatever the cycle is, you guys, if it's, hot and cold behavior, if it's someone coming in and out of your life, if it's someone choosing someone else, and this is sort of like a pattern that you keep experiencing again and again, if it's, I don't know, money shows up and then it disappears. If it's you get a job and your boss is immediately like very hard on you, expects more, judges you harshly, whatever it is, and you notice, wow, this keeps happening. There are no coincidences, and it's something happening inside of you, okay? And again, what better way to understand what's happening inside than seeing it put on display? But you have to understand, again, who you are and what's happening. What is, showing up in your 3D? What is that actually? It's not just happening to you. It's not random. It's not, coincidence. It's not just happening. It's your consciousness being put on display. So you choose, you go and you choose something different if you want to break out of the cycle. So you choose things like, I am only receiving consistent, loving communication. No more hot and cold. I'm only receiving commitment and being chosen. I'm always first. You decide things like, I'm always the priority. Whatever it is, whatever you prefer to experience. And again, in the moment, when the thing is showing up, when the cycle is repeating again, it's so important that you are not considering yourself to be a victim. And, these things do go in cycles. And really, that's for your benefit. It is for your benefit so that you can see, oh, here's that thing that you believe in. Here it is again, right? You're not a victim to it. So, and then some time goes by. Oh, here it is again. Okay, that's familiar, but you don't have to keep choosing it. You don't have to keep saying, this is who I am and this is how my reality works. If it's not what you want, you get to choose something different. You get to say, okay, that's showing me that, but I am not limited in my choices, in my decision about who I am. My choices are unlimited. And since this cycle is not pleasing me, I will choose something different. So I decide in the moment, this is who I now am. Okay? And we're not ever measuring how you're doing by the circumstances and what's showing up. Again, circumstances don't matter. Circumstances don't mean anything. Circumstances are only ever showing you your past thoughts, feelings, emotions, assumptions, dominant thoughts, things you dwelled on. That's it. And you cannot measure how you're doing. So if you've been working hard, if you've been changing your programming, if you've been working on yourself, letting go, doing all the work, right? Your measure of your progress is inside of you. It's what's going on inside of you. It's how you feel. It's how you react. It's your dominant emotions, right? That's the measure. And so don't disqualify that. I know, again, if you are doing this work, you will see the changes. You will know, oh, wow, I'm different. I am different inside of me. And that is huge, you guys. That is huge. And the 3D will catch up. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. It's going to catch up. There's nothing else going on. There's nothing else going on. Your consciousness is projected out, and there's a time delay, okay? There's a bit of a time delay. So you don't need to worry if what's showing up out there isn't quite caught up to how you now feel you're doing, right? You feel you're doing good, you're doing good, right? That's all the proof that you need. And go with faith, move forward in faith, knowing my consciousness is the only thing creating here, right? There's nothing limiting me. There's nothing outside. I have infinite potential. I was just revisiting Neville's book the other day, Infinite Potential. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. There's stories and stories and stories in there. And, you know, there really is some nuances to Neville's teachings, you guys, that I want to highlight, and I'm going to be highlighting that in my upcoming videos. It's not just about doing an imaginal act and then coming out of the imaginal act and, you know, where is it? And going right back into doubting. That's not how Neville did it. Neville had tremendous faith. He knew his consciousness, he knew his imagination was God, as he calls it, the one and only source. So he did his imaginal acts, felt it real. He would replay it. He would take it into sleep, and he would let it go. Complete acceptance. No resistance. No wondering where it is. No questioning his power. No questioning how he's doing. Right? These are all the sort of nuanced things that, you know, you have to really listen closely to what he's teaching. You have to really pay attention to these subtle things that made what he's teaching, the techniques that he's teaching, work so well for him. And you can do the same thing, but not by just saying, okay, I'm going to do my sats and I'm going to imagine, and then when I come out, I'm going to need to see it. Otherwise, I don't know. And you go back into doubt, and you go back to like all your old programming and where is it? And 3D matters, and 3D is showing. No, right? There's so much more to what Neville is teaching than just do an imaginal act. Okay? So you have to pay attention to what, you know, the confidence that he talks about, the faith. He talks all about faith. He talks about understanding who you are, right? Your consciousness is God. Your consciousness is the real reality, right? So we're not skipping over all of this. This is so important. Once you get all of that in place, yes, then it's as easy as you do your imaginal act, you let it go, and you walk across the bridge of events, and you find yourself exactly in the exact position that you were imagining. Yes, it is then that easy, but we have to get all of the fundamentals in place, right? All of the groundwork. Again, all the subtleties that you have to sort of pay attention to in Neville's work in order for it to work like it works for him in all of his stories. All right, you guys, that's it for this video about breaking out of any cycle with your specific person, with any type of job cycle or money cycle, any cycle at all. Your job is to use the opportunity in the moment to choose something different. Your choice is not limited to what is showing up because circumstances don't matter. So you have the complete ability in the moment, the cycle come, here it is again. Oh, here it is again. Excuse me. You have the ability to choose something different and choose what it is you prefer. All right, you guys, leave me a comment down below and I will see you in the next video. Bye.